Hi guys, Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters. Thanks for tuning in to watch my latest 12 by 12 layout. I am doing a really simple, really easy, really just threw it together layout here. There's not a huge amount of elements to it. So what I was just doing then with the ruler was measuring how wide a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock is, which I know sounds ridiculous, but in Australia we use centimetres. So I just was checking what 12 inches was in centimetres because I don't know that off the top of my head. We never learned that conversion at school. And so now that I know that, I am cutting some squares that I am then going to break into triangles or cut into triangles to fit across each of the four sides of my square. So off I go, cutting all of my triangles out, and I've just paired them up into like colours because I want to separate those colours around the edge to make like a border, but I don't want to put, you know, all the dark ones together or have them too close together or anything like that. So once I am happy and have those all lined up, so these are using the front and the back of the pattern paper. If I didn't like the back side, then I just kept two of the front side. If I loved both, then I had one of each. I think the squares ended up about 5 centimeters each maybe, but don't quote me on that, I can't remember. And then I simply just go ahead and double-sided tape those down. No, I don't like super every tiny little bit double-sided tape, just enough to hold them down. And I don't pop any of those up on foam or anything like that. They're just creating a nice bit of detail to my white cardstock, because as you guys know, I pretty much only do my 12 by 12 layouts straight onto white. I then might fill a lot of that white up, but I love having the white being my major base. It could be a good challenge for me. I am yet to really use a coloured cardstock as my main base piece. I just haven't quite brought myself to do that yet, but who knows, maybe one day. So I'm just about finished sticking all of these down. I probably could have edited this out, apologies, but there's not a huge amount that happens in this layout because it's really, as I said, it's really basic, really simple. It really didn't take me very long. I saw something similar on Pinterest, and the person that had done that layout had gone to a lot more trouble that I'm about to. She'd mixed mediaed and added bits and pieces. I do keep this really quite simple. It was one of those days where I was in the mood for scrapping, but I was super tired and just exhausted and knew I couldn't spend hours scrapping, but I just wanted to get into my craft room, do a little bit. And I am also so close to having finished my son's year album. He's way over a year old now, but I'm so close to almost having finished it. So I just really wanted to smash out a couple more layouts and get even closer to having finished his album. So what I just flicked through really quickly back there that I hope didn't give anyone motion sickness was just showing you the different coloured pattern papers I backed the photo with, so you could just see the variety of pattern papers I used. I am out of square foam square foam risers, dimensionals, pop dots, whatever we all call them, and I had a few really old, almost like kids' craft alphabet letters, so I just thought I would cut those up and use those to be foam thickers. And then in the back of a drawer I found this roll of what looks like red, but it's actually just white foam. The red is the bright colour to peel off double-sided tape, and I'm trying to use as little of that as possible so it can last until I have time to go to the shops and stop being lazy. So I think this is the You Rock collection from Coco Vanilla, and it is great. I am loving it. And I'm just coming up with a little heading. I really struggled to think of something exciting to use as this heading. So it is very simple, Ride on Vacuum. And I should have said I could have said Ride on Vacuum Cleaner, but you know, we get it. And then after I had done the Ride on Vacuum, I found that gorgeous, it's like a plastic. I don't even know what you would call it, honestly don't. But it's orange plastic and it says adventure. So I'm going to stick that sort of at the bottom, a little bit on top of the word vacuum. So it's going to be Ride on Vacuum Adventure, which totally makes all the difference. Now the heading is awesome. And I'm just having a bit of a play now with the ephemera pack and other little cut aparts and bits and pieces that I've got. I really don't embellish this very much because the papers are quite busy and a lot of the ephemera in the collection is quite big or quite like sentiment scripty that didn't really suit this layout. So I'm just kind of putting a couple of little clusters, nothing too over the top, using those gorgeous stars because they're pretty and they seem to match this layout a bit, and then I'm basically done. So I am just having a look at the arrows because I really like those arrows and think they could add a cute little touch, and I think I decided they look better than another word because I've already got a couple of words on this layout. So then I had a play with the Corbett Creations wood veneer, but I realised I don't like just adding one piece of wood veneer. I feel that it needs to be balanced. You know, even just one or two or even 2 or 3 pieces of wood veneer is totally fine, and they can just be little tiny ones. But for this particular layout, the wood veneer that I had, they were quite large pieces. And so I just decided against wood veneer. Excuse me, sorry. Yawning, tired, always tired. So now I'm just sticking down. Most things I'm sticking flat down with just normal double-sided tape, but there are a few bits and pieces that I pop up just to give that little bit of dimension and to, you know, add a little bit of, dimension is the word, isn't it? Dynamics to the page. So this is a picture of my little man. I was vacuuming. He loves to help vacuum. He's never really been afraid of the noise, which is great. He used to come and open the little hatch in the vacuum cleaner and get the extra fittings out, you know, like the extra, the pointy nozzle and the couch cleaning nozzle and things like that. So he used to come and get those out. And one day when he was doing that, he realised, oh my goodness, that the vacuum cleaner blows out hot air. And he was in heaven. So off he went, pushing the vacuum cleaner around for me. Thanks, darling. That was helpful. And just, banging on the back of the vacuum cleaner and feeling that hot air blowing on his face and blowing his hair. And he just thought it was hilarious. Since then, he has worked out how to pull the cord out of the wall socket and now keeps turning the vacuum cleaner off. He also thinks that's hilarious too, but probably because Mummy comes stomping around the corner going, hey, what are you doing? And he thinks it's a great game. Thankfully, he doesn't play with like the wall socket, thank goodness. He hasn't worked out about flicking switches or sticking fingers in or anything like that. And of course, we've got the baby safety covers on it, but you take them off when you're actually using the plug. But anyway, I'm sure he will get sick of that game soon enough, fingers crossed. So after all of that blabbing on, I've almost finished sticking everything down. So I've just stuck on the arrows, and now to stick on the adventure, I'm just using a PVA glue and sort of gently trying to spread it across as much of the adventure as I can, because as I said, I want it on the paper but also up onto the vacuum, so I want to make sure it's really going to be able to stick there and stay there. And so now just some of those bright, gorgeous, sparkly and diamantes. I was about to say enamel dots, diamantes in that orange colour. I'm just hiding some sort of underneath the edges of ephemera or anywhere that I think they will accent or draw your eye down towards the clusters or the writing or what have you. And it's looking pretty good. So I've been overusing my gold Heidi Shine, and my other Heidi Shines are feeling very sad and depressed sitting in their container. So I have got my teal out today. And so tealing away, I know why I use my gold so much, apart from the fact that it's beautiful. It flicks really easy. This teal, oh, I feel like I am about to shake my whole arm off trying to flick this teal Heidi Shine. So if anyone has any hints on how I can loosen up, I don't know what, loosen up the flicking, I don't know, but make it a bit easier, that would be great. Please let me know. So here it is, guys. I hope you've liked this simple and easy layout, and please like and subscribe to our channel. Bye guys, have a good day.